Welcome back to Trading with CJ. Today we have a must-watch video on Torchlight Energy. With a lot of anticipation of the merger coming up, there are a lot of questions coming our way. We were one of the first channels to cover this one, okay? However, more and more people have started to see Torchlight after the recent explosion, so a lot more questions are being asked around this one. So in this video, I'm going to try and answer all your questions. We're going to just do a Q&A. I wrote down a list of questions that I've received in the comments on YouTube videos, Twitter, Instagram, in our free Discord as well, which is linked in the description below. And hopefully, I'm going to ask these questions as easy and simple as possible for you guys, okay? So if you appreciate all these updates, please go ahead and smash the like and subscribe to my channel as well. It is a big week ahead for Torchlight Energy with the dividend, the merger, all fast approaching. So no doubt about it, there are more and more investors getting in on Torch, and we are pretty much at all-time highs right now. We'll have a quick look at the stock before we get into this Q&A. You can see yesterday was a very, very good day, okay? We actually passed $10 in the morning, and then, yeah, we pretty much ended the day just below $10. But after hours, we're looking very good, and I have no doubt about it. We're going to keep going ahead and seeing another bit of a green day, especially today as well. So let's get into this. First off, I'm going to give you a brief summary of what's going on. Okay, we have two companies here. Torchlight Energy, which is an oil and gas asset company, and then Meta Materials. There's also rumors of Meta Materials potentially working with Elon Musk in the future as well. Now, Meta Materials is not currently listed on the NASDAQ. They want to uplist to the NASDAQ, and in order to do that, they are using Torchlight Energy as a shell company. They're going to merge with Torchlight. Now, this is two completely separate companies right now, but what's going to happen is Torchlight will be no more. They're going to sell their oil and gas assets, and Meta are pretty much just using them as a shell company to get on the NASDAQ. That is why there's all this talk around the merger. This has been going on since December time, and we have been following this since early January now, okay? And it's looking very, very exciting for Meta Materials going forward. Now, why is this suddenly hitting a lot of attention? Well, we're getting closer and closer to that merger happening. Okay, and now we're going to get into some of the questions around this regarding the dividend, the merger, brokerages, etc. So there's no particular order to this. First one up here is why buy Torch and not Meta? Now these are two separate companies, TRCH and Mmatf. They are going to be merging to become Mmat. Why buy Torch and not Meta? Well, you can buy whatever you want to buy, okay? If you're buying Torchlight, you're going to get a 1-for-1 on shares, which actually answers another question, how many shares will I get? Well, if you have 1 share of Torch, you're going to get 1 share of Mmat. And if you have 1,000 shares of Torch, you'll get 1,000 shares of Mmat. However, if you hold Mmatf, which is currently Meta Materials, you will then get the free shares. Actually, slightly over. That's about 3.6 shares per share. So that's what's happening. So some people might think that's better. You're going to get more shares of Meta Materials if you just hold Mmatf. And that is true. You'll get more shares. However, if you hold Torch, you'll get a special dividend. So it swings and roundabouts. What do you want here? Do you want a special dividend, or do you want more shares of Meta Materials going forward? Not to mention as well, some brokerages do not currently have Mmatf, so your only option is to actually hold Torchlight. So that's up to you what you choose. You could even choose both if you really wanted to, okay? That way you're getting a dividend and more shares if you want to be a long-term investor in Meta Materials. So yeah, why buy Torch and not Meta? Well, that is completely up to you. But like I say, some brokerage actually do not let you buy Meta Materials right now anyway. Next one up here is when will the merger happen? Which is one of the key questions right now. End of June. That is what is predicted. We don't have a specific date. They're saying by the end of June, so we could get June the 30th. This merger could happen. Will our Torch shares automatically get sold at the merger? Yes. Okay, basically, the short answer, yes. Once this merger is completed, they will automatically get sold, and you will then own Meta Materials. Your brokerage will automatically convert this over if it is allowing this trade to happen. Some brokerages are not allowing this to happen, okay, and you're going to just get it sold and have the cash equivalents, which I spoke about, and we'll go into some brokerages in a minute. But you have to check with your brokerage if it is allowing it to happen. But yes, what will happen is your shares in Torch will automatically get sold and converted to Mmat. So what will happen to Torchlight after the merger? Well, that will obviously then become redundant. You will just hold a Meta Materials, and once all the debt and the merge cost has been done, you'll get the dividend payout, and yeah, no more Torchlight. You'll now own Meta Materials, and you can do what you like with those shares. Lots of questions regarding the dividend, okay? How much dividend will we get, first off? And what is a dividend? Let's quickly talk about a dividend. Dividend is going to be the sale of the oil and gas assets, okay? So Torchlight have a lot of oil and gas assets, and the price of oil and gas, etc., and land that is on a demand and on the rise right now, which is good. The more this price goes up, the more they can sell their assets for, and the more you will obviously get as a shareholder. Torchlight are going to be paying out the sale of the assets amongst its shareholders, okay, and that's going to be your preferred special dividend. They're calling it a dividend. It's a one-off, one-time special dividend for the sale of the assets. How much will this be? Well, there is predictions that this could be anywhere up to $20 per share. That is what is predicted, and from the very start, before we had any of these predictions, back in January, I actually made a prediction of around about $2.50 per share based on the price of land, oil, etc., and how much they had. $2.50 per share, and that was when this one was actually trading at about $1. You would have had a massive uprise in that dividend price, but obviously with the price of oil and land, etc., on the rise, this could be a much higher dividend depending on how much they get it sold for. Either way, that is a one-time dividend. Now that's not just $120, that is $20 or potentially $20 per share. Okay, so if you have 1,000 shares, 20 times 1,000, that right there is how much you're going to be getting in dividend. Now, just 20 is an estimate. My estimate is on the lower end of about $2.50, $3 per share. Either way, taking that per share as a one-time payout is definitely a very good reason to potentially look at Torchlight Energy. When is the last chance to get this dividend? Well, today. Today is the last chance to be able to get this dividend, okay? You need to hold shares by the end of close today or you will not be entitled to the special dividend. That is key right now, okay? You do not have long. You have until the end of market close today to be able to get your shares, which is why we could see a very big green day. And that follows on to this one. Do we need to hold until the 24th? There is lots of talk around how long you have to hold this to be able to get the dividend. Now, the dividend, you need to hold this until the end of close on the 24th. To be able to get this dividend. So if you're getting it today, we can probably expect not a lot of downward trend in the next few days because it doesn't make much sense for people to be selling within the next few days. If you wait this long to get a dividend, why would you then sell with 2 days to go and then not get that dividend? You might as well hold. So we will probably see a lot of people holding this one now until the 25th. With that being said, from the 25th onwards, people who are just in this to get that special dividend will probably be taking their profits, and I would expect a red day on the 25th. I'll be surprised if we don't, but that is just my prediction. So do we need to hold until 24th? Yes, you need to hold actually until the 25th, okay, until market close on the 24th. So that's just what's going on there. When will we get the dividend? You're going to get the dividend once the oil and gas assets have been sold. Now, there's 3 stages to this. After the 24th, okay, once this is confirmed, who's got a dividend, etc., you're going to get a preferred share, a preferred stock dividend share, okay? And then you're going to get a cash equivalent. That's the second stage. And then the third stage will be what is left over. So any debt and merge costs, that's what you're going to get as well. So the cash equivalent will happen to you once they have sold the oil and gas assets. They can't pay you out now because they don't know how much to pay you because they haven't sold their assets. So once they're sold, you're going to get that cash equivalent. And then any costs left over after the merge, etc., that's how much you'll get as well, okay, divided amongst shareholders, etc. So yeah, that is when you'll get a dividend. We don't know the exact dates right now, but you're going to get the preferred stock. So it'll be on your brokerage. And then obviously the cash will come in once they sell. If I sell half, will I still get the dividends? Well, you only get the dividends on the half that you haven't sold. If you sell half prior to the 24th close, okay, then you will not get a dividend. You have to hold it until after 24th. But you could sell half now, not get a dividend on that half, and if you hold on the other half, you'll get a dividend on that. So that's pretty much the talk about the dividends. There's a lot more to cover here. I'm just trying to get through this. If you have any other questions, please leave them in the comments below. And I may well go ahead and do another part if I've missed anything out. I have lots of questions about Trading 212. Will be eligible on Trading 212. I have literally made a video on this yesterday covering all about Trading 212. Check that one out. But in a nutshell here, will you be eligible? No. Your shares are going to get sold at the merger. We will not be holding Mmat on Trading 212. You may well be able to buy back in when it goes on there, but your shares will be sold, okay? Regarding the dividend, if you hold until the 25th, then you'll be entitled to that preferred stock. Questions about Robinhood, WeBull, etc. I currently use Trading 212, so that's what I know about. But as far as I'm aware, Robinhood at the moment doesn't have Mmatf, but obviously Mmat will be on the NASDAQ, so I imagine these brokerages will have them. If you want to know exactly what's going to happen to your shares with these other brokerages, you should email their customer service and just double check, okay? I don't want to give out any false information on other brokerages. Should we sell on the 25th, or when should we sell? This is completely up to you guys, okay? I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research. If you want to sell on the 25th just to get that dividend, then you can. Now, this is the problem. People will be selling on the 25th. People are in this for the dividend. So if you don't mind seeing a bit of red from that day onwards, then it could be a good time to sell. Although there's lots to talk about the short squeeze happening, so this could counteract that and also keep this price at, in line or potentially up as well. But yeah, should we sell on 25th? That is completely up to you guys. If you want to hold on to metamaterials for a long term, then you may as well hold it. If you just don't care about that, you just want a dividend and you take some profits off the table, then you could sell. But please be aware, this is a volatile stock. This was a penny stock up to a couple of days ago that we've been covering from a long time. So yeah, it's going to be volatile. Just bear that in mind if you are planning to sell. Speaking of selling, I've got asked a lot when I will be selling. I'm not 100% yet. I haven't really considered it too much. I'm on massive gains with this one. I bought in originally at about $1 or just below $1. So yeah, we're sitting on very nice gains right now. I definitely will be getting that dividend payout, no doubt about it. I'm not going to be selling before the 25th. If I may take half of my profits off the table, come the 25th, I may let this ride. I'll let you guys know when it gets to that moment in time. But right now, I don't have any real plans to sell. If I do, it will only be taking half because, I want to have that exposure to potentially a short squeeze if it happens. And either way, if we do see this come down, I'm still sitting on crazy gains. This ain't going back down to $1. So I'm going to be sitting on nice profits regardless. So yeah, I may take some off the table, I may not. But that's just my current position. This is a question not quite related to Torch, but I guess it is in some ways. One person has actually asked me, am I paid to talk about Torch, okay? And I just want to clarify, I am not paid to talk about Torchlight. I actually have a Discord, which is completely free to join. And back in January, I put a poll out on which stocks you guys would like to see me talk about. And Torchlight Energy was the highest voted one. And that was back at the start of the year. So I went ahead and made a video. It came out a bit later than I would have liked, but I did make the video on Torchlight because it was the most voted one in the Discord. I do own a small position in Torchlight as well. And yeah, so obviously since then, I've been giving you the updates. And as we got closer and closer to this merger, which is obviously what the whole reason we bought in the first place, was I've been giving you more updates because this is where it's getting now buying. This is where there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of price action. Yeah, so I'm just keeping you guys informed with what is going on. But no, of course, I'm not paid to talk about Torchlight. I have a small position. It wouldn't benefit me anyway. Yeah. Price prediction. People are asking me about the price prediction. I do not want to give any price predictions right now because right now it is extremely volatile. You can give a price prediction for a stock when it is stabilized and not moving crazy amounts. You can work it out. Right now, there is all this talk about a short squeeze. This could run up to anything. This could go to over $100. This could crash back down to $5. It really is too hard to give a prediction. Do your own research. I'm not a financial advisor. And yeah. And a couple more here. Talking of the shorts, when do the shorts need to cover? They will need to cover their positions prior to this merger. That is why there's so much talk about the short squeeze, because there is a lot of short interest in Torchlight Energy right now. So with the merger fast approaching, they are gonna need to cover, which is why people are trying to get this price up. Okay, short sellers are betting on this price going down. That is why retail investors are trying to get this price up. We see this with AMC. We know what price they got to. We see this with GameStop. There is now a lot of talk about Wall Street bets getting onto Torch, okay? It does kind of make sense if you think about it. It's a highly shorted stock. They have a date that they need to cover by, and it is merging. It does all kind of line up, okay? Will it happen or not? Time will tell. We'll keep you guys updated on that. And the last one here is, if after the 25th, everybody sells out, will we lose money? Well, of course, not everybody is going to sell out. There are a lot of people that like this company for the long term. Like I said, I do imagine a bit of a red day. Will you lose money? It really depends where you bought. I don't think I will lose money personally because I bought in really early, like a lot of other investors. But yeah, you won't necessarily lose. You're going to get a dividend payout regardless. So even if it goes down $1, you're going to be getting more than that in dividend payout, okay? So you just need to weigh up your pros and cons with this one. And yeah, like I say, always do your own research. So that's just a list of questions I get asked a lot in the comments. If you have any others, please drop them down below. And yeah, we're going to keep giving you updates. I hope you found this useful. I hope you decide whether you're going to get in today for that special dividend or hold out for the long term. If you missed a special dividend, is it too late to buy? Well, it really depends. Do you want to hold metamaterials for the long term? If you've missed it now, it might be a better time to wait until after all this dividend business has happened and then make your decision there. But yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please go ahead and smash the like and subscribe to my channel. We do have a Discord where you can ask me any questions on that as well. We have a Torchlight channel, completely free to join, linked in the description. And I have a Patreon where you can join as well, also linked in the description. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time.